Have you ever felt like you have two versions of yourself? The one you show to the world and the one you hide. Carl Jung believed this is not a mistake. He believed it is a normal part of being human. And he said something hopeful. When you learn your hidden parts, you don't become worse. You become whole. In this video, I will explain Jung's most famous ideas in simple English. The unconscious mind, archetypes, the persona, the shadow, anima and animus, individuation, and synchronicity. This is educational content, not therapy or medical advice. If you struggle with mental health, please speak with a qualified professional. Now let's begin with a simple question. What is happening inside your mind when you think you don't understand yourself? Carl Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist and the founder of analytical psychology. Early in his career, he worked closely with Sigmund Freud, but later they separated because they saw the mind in different ways. Freud focused strongly on personal childhood experiences and hidden desires. Jung agreed that personal experience matters, but he believed there is also something deeper that humans share. Jung's work is famous because it connects psychology with stories, symbols, myths, and dreams. He believed the mind speaks in images, not only in logic. So when you feel confused about your emotions, Jung would say, don't only ask what happened. Also ask, what symbol is showing up in my life? This is why his ideas are still popular today in self-discovery and personal growth. Jung said the mind has two main parts, the conscious and the unconscious. The conscious mind is what you know right now, your thoughts, decisions, and awareness. The unconscious mind is what affects you without your full awareness. It can shape your reactions, fears, habits, and choices. Jung described two layers of the unconscious. First, the personal unconscious. This includes your forgotten memories, hidden emotions, and personal wounds. Second, the collective unconscious. Jung believed humans share deep patterns across cultures and time. Think of it like this. Your personal unconscious is your private storage. The collective unconscious is a shared human library. That shared library is where Jung's famous archetypes come from. Archetypes are universal patterns or roles that show up in stories, myths, and dreams. They are not exact characters. They are more like templates inside the human mind. For example, the hero, the caregiver, the trickster, the wise teacher, and the child. You can see these archetypes in movies, fairy tales, and legends from many cultures. Jung believed we recognize them because they already live inside us. Why does this matter for your life? Because archetypes can explain what you are trying to become. If you are in a big change, the hero pattern may appear. Challenge, fear, growth. If you feel lost, the teacher pattern may appear. Guidance, learning, patience. Archetypes help you understand your inner story and choose your next step with more clarity. Now we come to two famous Jung ideas, the persona and the shadow. The persona is the mask you wear for society. It is your social role. At work, you may act professional. With friends, you may act relaxed. Persona helps you belong. But the shadow is what you hide or reject. The shadow can include anger, jealousy, shame, and fear. But it can also include positive things you learn to hide, like confidence, creativity, and power. Jung said the shadow doesn't disappear if you ignore it. It shows up in reactions, triggers, and strong judgments of other people. Shadow work is not about being perfect. It is about being honest, because what you refuse to see in yourself can control you from the dark. Jung also talked about anima and animus. In simple terms, he believed each person carries inner qualities that are often labeled feminine and masculine. This is not about stereotypes, it is about balance. For example, many people learn to hide softness, emotion, and intuition. Others learn to hide strength, direction, and assertiveness. Jung believed growth happens when you accept the parts you were taught to reject. When you say, "That is not me," you lose access to part of your own energy. But when you integrate these qualities, you become more flexible and mature. You can be strong and gentle. You can be logical and emotional. This balance prepares you for Jung's biggest goal, individuation, becoming whole. Individuation is Jung's word for becoming a whole person. It does not mean becoming better than others. It means becoming more honest and complete inside yourself. Individuation happens when you stop living only for approval. You learn the difference between your persona and your true needs. You face your shadow instead of running from it, and you build a life that matches your inner values. Jung called the center of this wholeness the self, not the ego that wants to look good. The deeper self that can hold everything, strengths, weaknesses, wounds, and gifts. This process takes time. It often feels uncomfortable at first, but Jung believed the reward is real: inner peace, deeper purpose, and a life that feels more like your own. One more famous Jung idea is synchronicity. Synchronicity means a meaningful coincidence. Two events happen close together and feel deeply connected, even if there is no clear cause. For example, you think about an old friend, and they suddenly message you. Or you keep seeing the same symbol during a big life decision. Jung believed humans naturally look for meaning. Sometimes these coincidences feel like the mind and life are speaking the same language. Whether you see synchronicity as psychology, symbolism, or spirituality, the key lesson is this: pay attention to what feels meaningful. Meaning can guide change. Let's close with Jung's most practical message. What you avoid can control you. What you face can free you.